Pô, vocês estão todos com fone de ouvido aí, que a gente vai fazer essa entrevista na base da tradução simultânea. O que vocês não entenderem, vocês façam de conta que entenderam. Porque vai passar aqui também legenda, subtítulos, quando vocês estão em casa. Aí vocês veem aquilo e dizem, ah, era isso que eu não ouvi direito. Tá? So how's everything? I love this hat, really.
I've been rushing about all day, so I thought I'd put it on.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how is your head.
Wow.
You got a big head too. Fantastic. You know that our director here, this is a 5960. Our director, Willem, has a head like a watermelon,
Really? Yeah.
which I thought was the biggest head I ever seen in my whole life. But there is a journalist here that works with me also. His head is like that. It's a what?
That's
I
normal.
think it's a 70. It's something like that. He can't put earphones.
For a journalist, that's normal. Yeah.
It's normal.
For a journalist, yeah.
So how many times have you been here already?
9 and a
Brazil?
half.
6?
Like
I want to say 6 out of 9.
Yeah. 6 and a half.
6.5.
Yeah, we're halfway
Last time, not the last time, but before that, the time before that, you invited me. I was very, very happy to see your show from the
wings.
From the wings over there. And it's amazing, the crowd. You see you did a show in the Pacaembu, and amazing how the crowd sings along, and they love you here in Brazil. I mean, they love you everywhere, but here's for sure.
It's a fantastic atmosphere. They sing not only the words, they sing the riffs and the refrains and everything else. They sing the rhythms. It's great, amazing.
Fantastic, and it was really a great pleasure to see you here. And you've played Smoke on the Water, a song that has one of the most famous guitar riffs ever. And it happened, it was inspired on a fire in Montreux during a Montreux Festival. How that happened?
We were watching Frank Zappa playing the last show of the season. We were going to move into the place the next day to start recording Machine Head. And during the concert, somebody walked in with a flare gun. And 2 flares went into the back of the building. And it was a wooden building, and it caught fire very quickly.
It was a flare?
A flare gun.
A flare gun started off.
Yeah. It was just, I don't think it was intended as anything other than just a sort of happening. But it caught fire, and it was amazing. Everyone was evacuated. We went down to Lake Geneva, watched the wind blow the smoke and the flames across Lake Geneva, hence the title, Smoke on the Water. It's the smoke of the building on Lake Geneva.
And who had the idea for the title?
Roger Glover.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually it came to me in a dream.
What were you dreaming about?
I dreamt it. I've no idea. No idea.
Mind you, he lives in the dream anyway.
Well, so you woke up with this idea, with the idea for
I woke up and I said the words out loud to no one else in the room, and
You were sleeping alone?
I know, yeah, strange but true.
That's very strange. Okay, it's one of these days. And then you came up with the title.
Well, I don't know. The title just came to me, and I didn't know what it meant until a little while later, and we were writing the lyrics, and we thought, let's write a song about what happened to us.
Well, then I think this was an amazing experience to see all that the fire, and from the lake to see all the smoke.
Well, the lyrics ended up being the story of the making of the record, all the moving away from the casino to the Grand Hotel and all the difficulties that happened in between. And so it's very much a biographical lyric about Machine Head, the album.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Tell me something. Well, do you remember what was the biggest disaster doing a big show, a big rock show in the United States? What was it? Was one of the, I don't know, the Rolling Stones? No, the
Altamont. We had a pretty big one in Chile, in Santiago, a couple of years ago. We're playing in a football ground, and they let the crowd in early. And they rushed to the center part where the lighting towers were. And they climbed up one side, not both sides. Both sides would have been okay, but they climbed up, and you could see it as the crowd was rushing in. We were going, oh no. And the whole thing collapsed, crumbled, where there were 100 people up there. It was awful, terrible. Fortunately, nobody was killed, but it was incredibly terrifying experience. You know, you think about all the tons of equipment that's hanging in the sky above the stage every night, and we have the most fantastic crew that we travel with. They're amazing. And
I know that.
so it's you trust them with your life, you know, and you trust the audience and everyone with the lives of the professionals that put these shows together. So. But hopefully these things don't happen too often.
No, thank God. No, I've seen your crowd working here in Pacaembu, and I was seeing the show from the stage, and it's the amazing professionals. Right?
We couldn't work without them.
You can relax, come in, just do your show, because you know everything will be
absolutely
okay.
Yeah.
And you talk about Frank Zappa. So, what do you think of Frank Zappa? Because for me, it was a moment in the history of music. For me, very important with the first albums, still with the Mothers of Invention. It was something that really amazed me. And how do you think of after the Mothers?
I mean, Flo and Eddie were in the band that night from the Turtles, but you could ask any musician about Frank Zappa, and they'll all have something to say about Frank Zappa. They'll all have something respectful to say about Frank Zappa, and they'll all have something about how Frank Zappa affected their lives in one way or another, small way or a big way. So he was a very significant musical figure.
How did he affect your life, for instance?
Well, I think as far as to be honest, it was Wildman Fisher. It was his ability as a producer to see things in impossible situations and make something of it, and to make a dream come true. And that was just one tiny aspect of his musicianship.
Right.
But I think also the fact that he decided that if you couldn't find a chord ugly enough to play it, you just had to stuff a giraffe with cream and with whipped cream, and he had a kind of an avant-garde approach to music and to life. But he was a wonderful musician.
He's a dreamer. What do you think about Frank Zappa?
The drummer or the dreamer?
No, the dreamer. First the dreamer.
Pretty much what Ian says. Just musically, he opened a lot of doors, and he did it with irreverence. You know, he did it with no respect to what had gone before. He broke new ground. So.
And he had a lot of humor in everything he did. And the drummer.
Well, I think what he did, he looked at the limitations of what music was becoming in different boxes. He said, well, there are no rules anymore.
Right. But what was it? How was the first impact when you heard?
There was a record called an album called Peaches, a track called Peaches on Regalia, which is
Hot Rats.
Hot Rats, the album. It's just an amazing piece of music with an amazing drummer on it. But the invention of all the musicians he worked with was just, it inspired you to try things that maybe you didn't try before.
Yeah.
Because he said there are no rules. Anything
Yeah,
goes.
it started even with the cover of the albums, right? Because I remember the first impact I had was just looking at the cover of the album. I said, I gotta have this. Let's see the impression of everyone. The first